Hey guys, my name is Mike, and I'm a former New York City bouncer who went back to college, studied business analytics, and got my MBA. And I got into high-powered financial consulting. I made this decision, turned my life around in my late 20s, and now I live in my dream home, have drive my dream car, been living a great life ever since. And I wanted to talk with you about something that I've been struggling with lately, and well, maybe not lately, right? But it's something that's super important towards me going into the next step of my life, which is starting a business and going from making, good six-figure income to getting into the seven figures. And that's by becoming a business owner. And I want to talk about making decisions. And so let's talk about a decision. What is that exactly? A decision, when you break it down into its Latin roots, it comes from the Latin di and inside, or cedere. So cedere is the Latin word for to cut, and then di or de, that is off. So you're wanting to cut off any other possibility, and you're going to choose to stick with the one thing and cut off all other possibilities. So that's when you make a decision. And it's really important that when you make a decision that you're going to stick with that. So you can't say, I am trying to go back to school. I am trying to get a new job. You don't try. You have to make a decision and stick with it. So if you're going to get a new job, you don't say, I'm trying to get a new job. You go get a new job. And it doesn't mean that you quit your current job and you go get a new job. It means that you actually actively start applying for other jobs. So you don't have to even say, I'm trying to get a new job. You say, I am applying to jobs. I've made a decision to start applying to other jobs, right? And then stick to that. But don't say, I'm trying to become a millionaire. Say, I've made a decision to make more money, and I'm deciding to become a millionaire, right? So you've decided to become a millionaire, and so you're working towards becoming that person. And just don't use the word try, because when you say try, you're really you're giving yourself almost an out and giving yourself an excuse to maybe not do things, and to say, well, I'm trying, things may or may not happen with what I want to do or what I'm trying to do. And people, I've heard somebody say this recently, where it's that people have very weak and atrophied decision-making muscles, right? So people in general they're not very good at making decisions. They're good at making choices. People make lots of choices. I mean, I've made lots of choices about things that I want to do and don't want to do. But when you make a decision, you put intentionality behind doing that thing, right? So if you decide to go on a trip, you say, I am going to go to Miami, or, sorry for those of you who live in Miami, right? But I'm deciding to go somewhere. Then you actually you buy the plane tickets, you start shopping for hotels, right? You actually, now that you've decided you're going to go somewhere, then you're going to take all these small, different, varied actions to bring you to that one place, to bring that decision to fruition. And people can also use that same sort of logic, that same sort of framework around planning a vacation, once you've decided on it, to building a business. So if you decided you're going to build $1 million business, well, it's not one thing that's going to get you there. You have to do multiple things in order to get there, right? So it's not just acquiring clients. You have to also create an offer. You have to figure out, what are you going to sell in your business? Are you going to arbitrage stuff from Alibaba and you're going to sell on Amazon? You're going to do the whole Amazon FBA thing. Maybe you found great products on Amazon that you found you could flip on eBay. One small business that I had is I would go to antique malls, like little local antique malls, everywhere I travel, and I still do this. I'll go into antique malls and I just like shopping through them, looking for, things for my own personal collections. But if I see something, I'm like, that looks really cheap and this is pretty high quality, you can use Google Lens on your phone, take a picture of it, and it'll tell you right away what that item is. And you probably even get links to where you can buy that item. And you'll see, wow, I could sell this thing on eBay for $200 more. I'll just buy it. And I've done that before. I mean, I recently bought this like chandelier type thing. It was pretty small. I paid $30 for it and I sold it on eBay for $250. So you can decide to say, I'm going to build a business where I do this, and I have to figure out what is my offer, what am I going to sell, what am I going to do, and you stick to it. Now, I didn't make a decision to build $1 million antique flipping business. That's not necessarily what I want to do. I mean, I like doing it, but when I sit down and I think about it, I realize I'm not that interested in shopping in antique malls on a commercial scale. That's not my idea of fun. It's fun for me to casually go in and check places out, but I don't want to buy a big box truck or a large cargo van and then drive around the country, stopping in antique malls and shopping for goods to resell. That's not my idea of fun. Or something that I think I want to be doing 5 or 10 years from now. But that's what I would have to do if I wanted to get into that. So in my case, I've decided to build my my paid search agency with a friend of mine. We've decided we're going to build that, and we're sticking to it. And I'm already getting pulled by one client who's trying to get me into programming and building out some issues they're having with search engines and stuff, and it's more on the coding technical side. And I have to make a decision, how am I going to help this person, or am I not? Am I going to stick to what I've decided to do, which is paid search agency, or can I find some way to help him with something that's more of a technical, not necessarily HTML coding level issue, but it sort of is. So I've decided that I'm going to help him with that, but it's how am I going to help him? I'm not going to try. I have to put intentionality behind it. So, honestly, I'm going to give him a call today and say, hey, how's this thing coming along? What exactly is your problem? I already asked them a couple days ago to send me some information on it last week, and they haven't done it, right? So I'm going to continue trying to help them. Here I said it, try. I put intentionality behind it. Call them, say, hey, where are we with this problem? Do you still have it? If you still need help with it, then I'll help you figure it out. And then I'm going to have to put intentionality behind helping them figure this out. So yeah, remember, when you decide something, you're not trying to do something. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the description or in the comments below. And like and follow, subscribe if you can, please. Thank you very much.